Hey guys, it's Mr. Artificial here with a 2 to 3 minute clip just informing you about something for my last Dream plugin I made. I found that he actually added it so that mobs also drop random blocks, and I forgot to add that, so I'm going to add that really quickly with you and go over how that actually is done. And so we're just here in our plugin. We did this in the last video. Go watch that last video if you haven't watched it yet. This will probably be an unlisted video. But anyway, we're going to start with making two new hash maps and two new lists. So I'm just going to copy these two down. Go do that. And we're going to call this the entity list. Entity list. And it's going to be living. The parameters are going to be living entities. Like this. And we can import it. And change this one as well. There we go. And we're going to make a new hash map. And this list is just going to contain all of the living entities. So, like, entities are anything that is, like, on the ground or anything like that. So, a cow and a pickaxe item floating on the ground is also an entity. Which is why we need living entities, which only goes for, like, mobs and animals and all that. And the next thing we're going to make is just copy this hash map down. And it's going to be, the identifier for it is going to be a living entity instead of a block. And this one's also going to be a living entity. Entity, like that. And this is going to be, just change this to entity so we can give it a new name. I'm going to do this quite fast because I'm trying to make this a short video for you guys. Anyways, come down here, out of this for loop. We're just going to do a quick for loop again. You guys should be masters at this already. You know what we're going to do. Entity for entity. And type e entity type dot values, and this is just pretty much going to do the same thing up here because entity type is like material and it has a bunch of values for all the materials and items that are in the game, just like entity type has a bunch of values for all the entity types that are in the game. So in here we are going to do entity. It's pretty simple actually because we don't need to check anything or sort anything because it's all going to be entities. And I think this might be faster. I don't know for sure if entity type here. We can check right now actually. Okay, just give me 1 second. Just check. Yeah, so it does include like look, I don't think it includes like blocks and stuff, so that should be fine. Yeah, it just includes like entities like arrows and all that, so it should be fine. I'll explain in a minute why just a general command do entity why I'll explain in a minute why just a general command for the listener will work. And for a general command like this, we're just going to add all of these entities to our entity list. E. There we go. And oh yeah, this is just gonna be, I messed it up again. This is gonna be entity type up here. This is also be entity type along with this one because entity type and actually object and entity type is in the list. So one has all values, one has type. Anyway, we're gonna do the same, very similar thing to what we have done up here once our list is all done, and we're going to do while block list dot size is actually while we're doing block list we have to do while entity list dot size, since there are less entities than items currently, even after removing all, because what we're doing is we're assigning the leftover items to these entities. So even after removing, I checked with numbers, even after removing all the items we did for all the blocks, there's still enough items left to assign them to entities as well. So while entity size is less than 0, we're going to do this, and then I'm actually just going to copy this right here down, and there we go. And then we can keep ran item. We're just going to do ran entity instead for the block. We're going to switch out the entity one, and it's going to be random.nextInt for entity dot size or entity list dot size. What is, oh, it's lowercase. And then what we're going to do here is random list entity. Oh my god, I spelled it wrong. Random list entity dot put, and we're gonna put the key being entity. It's the same thing that we did above. List dot get, and the index is going to be ran entity, and the value is going to be, okay, I should just do this right here. The value is going to be the same thing we did up here. It's very, very simple stuff because we've already pretty much done it. It's just assigning them all the new thing, and then we can copy this down right here. We'll do that like that, and this will be entity list, and then we'll do entity list again, and then this will be random entity. Anyway, so we're good for that part now. All we need to do is the listener after we assigned all the values, and the listener can actually follow the exact same thing. However, we have to do something slightly different. Well, actually, slightly easier. So just make your event handler public void on entity death. That's gonna be entity death event. We're gonna call it E. So it's gonna allow us to import that, which I would gladly. And then we're gonna check if the entity, if e.get entity is a player, is an instance of a player. Instance of player. We're gonna go ahead and we can just pop down hit the enter button and return, and there we go. And outside of this, all we have to do is, again, I told you in the last one that we couldn't do e.get drops, so all I have to do now is do e.get drops for this one because we couldn't do it for the last one. .clear, we're gonna clear them all, and then e.get drops add to the drops, and we're going to add e dot, what are we gonna do? Entity list. Random list entity dot get. We're gonna get e dot get entity dot get type. So we get the entity. That's a thing right here. So we get the entity type for this because we made that the parameters, and then we just get the item that corresponds to it. It's pretty simple stuff. And then you might be asking, but what about the for loop and all that stuff? It's, again, very, very simple. All you have to do is do this, take away this, and then replace it with the one that you just did. Oh, go. There we go. So that's how you make it. Oh, this could also be oh, we also need a random in this stuff right here. Need to add this to the top. Actually, we can add it right here. And there we go. So that is how you add it for the animals as well. I'm not going to test it because I want to make this a relatively short video. So that's how you add it for the animals as well. And it'll work. Trust me, I've tested it. And if it doesn't, leave a comment down below and I will make sure that I make it my #1 priority to help you out. Alright, see you.